It started with 16 words on social media, and by nightfall, the entire nation was arguing about it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, one of America's most recognizable political figures, had just fired off a sarcastic tweet aimed at former collegiate swimmer Riley Gaines. The post read, "Maybe if you channeled all this anger into swimming faster, you wouldn't have come in fifth." Within minutes, the quote exploded. Millions of impressions, thousands of angry replies. But this wasn't just internet drama. It was the collision of two powerful forces: a progressive congresswoman using her voice to defend inclusivity, and a female athlete turned activist demanding fairness in women's sports. In the center of it all stood one question echoing across America: where does equality end and fairness begin? To understand how a single tweet became a political earthquake, we need to rewind 3 years to the pool that started it all. March 2022, NCAA Women's Swimming Championships. University of Kentucky's Riley Gaines lined up next to Penn swimmer Leah Thomas, the first openly transgender athlete to win an NCAA women's title. When the 200-yard freestyle ended, both swimmers touched the wall, simultaneously tying for fifth place. Photos of Gaines holding a participation trophy while Thomas received the official plaque went viral. That image became a symbol, hailed by some as inclusion in action, condemned by others as the erasure of women's competition. From that day forward, Riley Gaines wasn't just a swimmer, she was a spokeswoman. After graduation, Gaines began campaigning for what she calls protecting biological women's sports. She testified before Congress, appeared on talk shows, and built a following of millions. Her message: women deserve equal opportunity, not equal obstacles. Her critics accused her of intolerance. Her supporters called her courageous. By 2025, she had become a lightning rod for the entire debate over transgender inclusion and Title IX rights. That's when AOC decided to weigh in, and the spark became a storm. Late October 2025, Gaines posted about fairness in women's sports, tagging congressional leaders. AOC replied with that now famous line, "Maybe if you channeled all this anger into swimming faster." The sarcasm struck a nerve. Within an hour, AOC versus Riley was trending nationwide. Hashtags divided timelines. Fockers stand with Riley versus AOC was right. For some, it was comedy. For others, cruelty. But for millions of women watching from the sidelines of sports, it felt personal. Then came the clapback that reignited the entire debate. Gaines fired back within minutes. This is the definition of misogyny. Mocking women for standing up for fairness is what's truly anti-female. She reminded AOC that the swimmer she tied with once ranked 462nd among men before switching divisions. Her message: we aren't angry, we're asking for fairness. Her words drew sympathy from conservatives, moderate Democrats, and even apolitical athletes who said the issue isn't ideology, it's biology. Suddenly, one sarcastic tweet had reopened one of America's most explosive culture wars. Cable networks replayed the exchange on loop. Supporters of AOC called her remark satire aimed at hypocrisy. Critics accused her of bullying female athletes. Within hours, Riley Gaines was trending at #1 on X talk show panels debated whether the Congresswoman's words crossed a moral line. Meanwhile, women's sports advocates rallied around Gaines, framing her as a voice of reason against political virtue signaling. The feud had transcended swimming. It had become a referendum on how America defines womanhood. This wasn't just about one race or one remark. It was about power, protection, and politics. AOC argued for inclusivity, championing transgender rights as an extension of civil rights. Gaines argued for boundaries, defending fairness as the foundation of women's opportunity. Each side claimed to defend equality. Each accused the other of destroying it, and in the middle stood parents, coaches, and young athletes caught between social acceptance and competitive integrity. Both women had made their point, but neither expected what came next. By week's end, over 12 million people had engaged with posts mentioning their names. Sports committees fielded new petitions demanding clear policy. Conservative lawmakers introduced amendments to redefine eligibility standards. Under Title IX, progressive coalitions countered with Campaigns calling for equal inclusion in athletics. DeSantis, Trump, and several senators weighed in. Even Olympic champions publicly picked sides. What began as a tweet had become national agenda material, echoed in every talk show, podcast, and newsroom. America's polarization wasn't created by AOC or Riley Gaines, it was revealed by them. Each speaks to a group that feels unheard. Each believes they're protecting the essence of fairness. The internet turned it into a battle of memes. But beneath the noise lies a generational divide. Older Americans framing the debate as biology versus policy, younger ones framing it as identity versus tradition. Both sides are right about one thing. Women's sports have become the new front line in the culture war. AOC's tweet may fade from trending lists, but its echo remains. Can fairness and inclusion truly coexist, or must one yield to the other? Riley Gaines keeps speaking at rallies. AOC keeps shaping policy, and America keeps arguing. Tweet after tweet, race after race. Maybe someday. The finish line won't divide us. It'll remind us what competition was meant to be. Not to destroy each other, but to define what we value most.